blues fans. Glad you found us. Time for another episode of This Week in the Blues. I'm your host, Jimbo Big Train Madsen with Big Train and the Locomotives. We're a blues band out of Oklahoma. We have a great episode this week, so let's take a look and see what happened this week in blues history. Blues guitarist James Super Chikan Johnson was born February 16th, 1951 in Darling, Mississippi. He's the nephew of fellow blues musician Big Jack Johnson. Super Chikan spent his childhood moving from town to town in the Mississippi Delta and working on his family's farms. He was fond of the chickens on the farm, and this led to his friends to give him the nickname Chicken Boy. At the age of 13, he bought his first guitar, an acoustic model that had only 2 strings, from a Salvation Army store. Whenever we're in Clarksdale in August, when we go down there for a blues festival, we always catch Super Chikan live. It's a show that you must not miss. Texas blues guitarist Chris Duarte was born February 16th in 1963. He is one of my absolute favorite blues guitarists. Duarte plays a style that draws on elements of jazz, blues, and rock. And in his own words, his musical style is a combination of rock and blues and punk blues. Go to YouTube and check out his version of Big-Legged Woman to get a feel of how he navigates a fretboard, blending blues, jazz, and even some psychedelic rock into his solos. I'll include a link to it in the show notes. On February 19th in 1914, John Lee Hooker's Boogie Chillen hit number 1 on the R&B chart. Boogie Chillen was first recorded by John Lee Hooker in 1948. It is a solo performance featuring Hooker's vocal, electric guitar, and rhythmic foot stomps. The lyrics are partly autobiographical and alternate between spoken and sung verses. The song was his debut record release, and in 1949 it became the first down-home electric blues song to reach number 1 in the R&B records charts. Blues musician Robert Bilbo Walker was born February 19th, 1937. Walker is known for his showmanship and flamboyant Chuck Berry imitations. Walker was born near Clarksdale, Mississippi. His father, Robert Walker Sr., was often referred to by his nickname Bilbo, which was passed on to Walker Jr., who was sometimes called Little Junior Bilbo. Walker began to explore music after being introduced to it by Ike Turner. Chicago boogie-woogie pianist James Yancey was born February 20th in 1894 or 1895 or 1901. Yeah, it's one of those records things. He's one of the pioneers of this raucous, rapid-fire, 8-to-the-bar boogie-woogie piano style. Yancey became the first boogie-woogie pianist to record an album of solos. By then, Yancey's work around Chicago had already influenced much younger and better-known pianists as Meade Lux Lewis, Pinetop Smith, and Albert Ammons. Blues guitarist Scrapper Blackwell was born February 21st in 1903. He was given the nickname Scrapper by his grandmother because of his fiery nature. He's best known as half of the guitar-piano duo he formed with Leroy Carr. Blackwell and Carr toured throughout the American Midwest and South between 1928 and 1935 as stars of the blues circuit, recording over 100 sides. February 21st is also another good day for Scrapper Blackwell. On February 21st in 1934 in St. Louis, Scrapper Blackwell and Leroy Carr recorded Blues Before Sunrise. Sadly, it was done only a year before Carr died at the age of 30. Blues at Sunrise is Carr's litany of woes in a song. Lines like, "Such a miserable feeling, a feeling I do despise," had immense influence on Robert Johnson and other blues legends. In 2016, it was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. New Orleans legend Ernie Cadeau was born February 22nd in 1933. Born Ernest Cador Jr., He recorded as a member of the group The Blue Diamonds in 1954, before making his first solo recordings the following year. Mother-in-Law was his first hit, reaching number 1 on both the Billboard Pop Chart and the Billboard R&B chart. K-Door never had another top 40 pop hit. Well, blues fans, we just covered some of the highlights here. Now, if you want to know more about these artists or other things that happened this week in the blues, be sure to follow our social media pages or visit our website at bigtrainblues.com. Keep an eye open because we'll have a brand new episode next week. So, we'll see you then.